How you doing, Freak Nation? For the next 60 minutes, we got a lot of things for you to hit. Justin Ashley, NHRA top fuel pilot, running for a championship. Of course, the penultimate race this weekend in Las Vegas
Kenny
for the
loves
NHRA.
that word.
It's the stupidest damn word in the history of mankind. Penultimate's like when you're the smartest kid in high school. What's the award you get?
Valedictorian.
Yeah, it's like valedictorian. Man, he's a penultimate.
No,
Dude,
that would be
penultimate.
salutatorian. Salutatorian is the second.
Yeah, I agree. No, penultimate just sounds like a very important word. It's one of those stupid things that we or the English created to say second to the last. Just say second to the last, goddammit. Can we just say that?
We all know in motorsports, if you ain't first, you're last.
I've never heard penultimate until someone dropped that in motorsports. It's like, that's why we created this damn show. Who uses freaking penultimate when you're going 320 miles an hour down a drag strip? Dude, that was a penultimate finish. No.
Because you didn't win it. That was so penultimate.
All right, Freak Nation. NASCAR lawsuit is headlines. Phoenix is headlines with your Final Four. Kyle Larson, Big Balls, Byron. It is not your favorite driver, Chase Elliott, or Cole Cusimano's best buddy, Ryan Blaney. No, it's not, ladies and gentlemen. The other two drivers, Cole Cusimano, are?
We got Chase Briscoe. We got Denny Hamlin. We got Kyle Larson and Big Balls Byron. That's your championship 4, baby.
And coming up in about 40 minutes, we will share with you who is going to win the damn championship coming up in Phoenix. Before we get into that, Freak Nation, you saw the bombs. Well, the scuds started dropping, when was this, 48 hours ago with the NASCAR lawsuit?
That's about right.
All right.
With Jordan Bianchi's article and some others. Yep.
Yeah, where, again, it doesn't look good for NASCAR. We know all about this lawsuit with Front Row Motorsports at 2311. It does not look good for NASCAR. What's come out is basically what Denny Hamlin, Michael Jordan, their attorney, Front Row Motorsports, and others have been saying all along. We ain't making shit off this billions of dollars that NASCAR is making with this television and media contract. In fact, we're making, what was it? On average, a team will make $130,000 a race, and collectively, is it 30? Help me out here, guys.
You're talking about from the winner's purse or from the charter agreement that was released?
From the winner's purse. Sorry about that. Yeah. I need to pull those numbers up before I start quoting everybody here. I've got them right here in front of me. Each charter team receives a base payment of $141,000 per race under this current agreement.
Regardless of where you finish in the race.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Total of all that amongst these teams, that's $33 million and some change. And if you're Denny Hamlin, if you're Michael Jordan, you're going, holy smokes, that's it? That's all we're making off of the billions of dollars that NASCAR is making? Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's out there for you guys to see now how much NASCAR makes. Not to the finite detail, but how much NASCAR is making versus how much these teams, Crasher, these teams and charters are making with this agreement that they signed at the 11th hour for 2025.
The 11th hour and 59th minute.
Right.
Here's my question, though. I thought I saw on somebody's tweet that NASCAR has put out that they profited $100 million last year. If that's the case, we're not even close to billions. So hold on a second. The teams get $33 million and NASCAR is making $100 million. Yes, there's still a big gap there, but NASCAR itself, and I'm only saying this as devil's advocate, NASCAR themselves still has a money-making business as well. So what is it, billions or $100 million a year?
You want this? I got it.
I don't have it.
I can certainly take it from there.
You go for it.
Okay, remember, Crasher, these are the pages that we're seeing. And Bob Pockras, love the guy, man. A motorsports insider for NASCAR and, of course, IndyCar with him with Fox Sports. The papers, the releases that we're seeing, the unredacted releases that we're seeing are giving us some crazy freaking numbers. And if you want an individual with an ASU broadcasting, what kind of freaking, what do you have, a Bachelor of Arts, Richie? What do you have?
Yes.
Yeah, well, you really expect Richie to break down this whole damn redacted agreement? Hell no.
Somebody in our comments on Twitter gave us the PDF to all 100 pages.
Okay.
I tell you what, man, I read exactly one page of that, and I said to myself, that's enough of that for today.
Basically, Cole and everybody else listening and watching is it shows you how much little revenue that these teams are making from these contracts, which, again, will bring the public to the side of the teams for the most part.
For the most part.
And and support those teams with this current business model that NASCAR has. It weakens the leverage of NASCAR in these negotiations, so much so, according to Jordan Bianchi, don't call me Bianchi's article, that there are NASCAR executives going, bruh, we got to get this shit done before this weekend. So I wouldn't be surprised by the time Steve Phelps jumps up at the dais at 10:15 or 10:45, okay, at the 10 o'clock hour a.m. Pacific time to give the state of NASCAR that either something, I would be surprised if something hasn't been signed, or that might be the place where he drops, it's been signed.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I actually said this was Sunday. I said this. I think a deal is going to get struck before the championship because they don't want this to take away from the headlines of the 2025 champion. And I think NASCAR pulled a Plaxico Burress. They shot themselves in the foot with this one.
Bang.
I said it last week. This is a lose-lose scenario for them. If they win the deal, they win the lawsuit, MJ walks away most likely. You don't want that. If they lose the deal, they lose, obviously. And now they have all their numbers getting put out here to the public that are going to go against them in the court. So, I think this is a losing battle from the beginning for NASCAR. Mm-hmm. Like Denny Hamlin said, a suicide mission on their part. Yeah. So I fully believe come Halloween afternoon, when the State of the Sport address is conducted in Phoenix Raceway, that this charter lawsuit will be resolved.
You don't think they'll make a big deal out of this, meaning big pomp and circumstance where they have the actual owners up there and Steve Phelps and freaking Skipjack France up there signing it like it's a right?
We
this momentous
did.
occasion.
Funny.
They wouldn't do something that stupid.
We're all
would they?
hugs and happy.
No. Right? They wouldn't do that, right?
I don't think so. It doesn't seem the very NASCAR thing to do.
It doesn't. But they do want to control the narrative. And if they want to make it look, I mean, I don't think they're going to do that either, but they do want this to look like, hey, we figured something out. Look at us. We did it.
I'm just curious.
You were forced to do it, is what
do you
the
think
case
Michael
is.
Jordan, Denny Hamlin, Front Row Motorsports, when they walk into the break room Crasher, don't give me literal bullshit here. When they walk into the break room and there's Joe Gibbs over there or there's Rick Hendrick over there, you think they're going, you took the knee to NASCAR and we just kicked NASCAR in the nuts. Can you maybe take a knee for us, or at least give me a high five, you bastard? Because I'm going to get you a hell of a lot more money with this transparency.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. MJ saying, kiss my many rings.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, the long-term financial stability with these teams is, I'm not going to say it's set, but it's certainly much more clear than it was this time last week to the other teams. That makes sense?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I said the 10 o'clock hour, Freak Nation, that's never live. The state, is it? That's never live, is it?
Oh, it's live. Oh, it's
NASCAR
Well, I
live.
mean,
Press
is it
Pass.
live on NASCAR.com?
They put
Press
it on their
Pass?
website and the YouTube. Absolutely, yeah.
It is live?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
That's going to
Yes.
be the S. Yeah.
Most watched press conference of the year.
1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific.
One of the things I was a little surprised about, I guess maybe not too surprised, but a little surprised, is how big of a role Steve Phelps has been playing in these negotiations. According to Jordan Bianchi's article, like, Kenny, you've been saying for months that if Steve Phelps was the guy in charge of NASCAR, this would have been done in 6 months, a year ago. We would never have gotten to this close to a trial.
Right.
And it turns out, according to Jordan Bianchi's article and his sources, Steve Phelps was the guy on the phone constantly over the last week trying to get this done. So he's the lead guy here, which was a little surprising to me that he's been the lead guy in this situation, even though he's the commissioner. But the France family apparently isn't the lead here. It's Steve Phelps that's run the show. I was a little shocked by that.
No, hold
Don't
on,
you believe he's on the phone as
Yeah.
the mediator between the France family and then back with the teams?
Give me a single shot.
They got the puppet.
This is it, right here. Okay. Jim, hold on. Hey, how's it? Yeah, Michael, it's great. Now, what about, he's still screaming at me. What, Jim? Oh, we can't? Nope, can't do that, Mike. No, Jim France and Lisa Kennedy, don't call me Lisa Kennedy, France Kennedy. They're in his ear. Come on, this wasn't him.
Yeah, they're working the hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The puppet.
puppet.
So are we saying Phelps is the puppet? Even though he's the one on the phone, he's
Absolutely.
the puppet.
Which, you know what, for
Absolutely.
Steve Phelps' sake, Cole, that's freaking stones of any individual.
Yeah.
Because this is the dude who came in and probably cornered France and Kennedy at one time saying, we've got to do this to at least keep our series afloat. And many changes that he made has helped do that. And now this is the guy, the face of NASCAR, that frankly, this is strictly speculation, but damn it, I can't believe otherwise. This is the guy that's taking the orders from somebody that's afraid to come out of their Eiffel freaking tower and say, really, what's going on? He keeps taking the arrows for the France family. Yeah?
Yeah. That's what we've been saying all season, pretty
Can
much.
you guys talk, maybe?
Oh, we've been saying that all year, though.
I know
We're
that,
rehashing
damn
the
it.
same things. No, I agree. I think if it was just him in charge, not getting the orders from the France family, this thing would have been settled months ago. Those intentions are clear from what Richie said from the article from Bianchi. And I couldn't agree more. I really couldn't.
And you know what this is going to do? Again, now that these numbers are out there, those freaking equity firms, hedge firms that were sitting out there on the sidelines thinking, really, do we want to invest in these charter agreements with a series that's as flaky as NASCAR? Now they see this, and whatever agreements that's come about with this, that's when you might see some of this crazy ass money that's coming with Joe Gibbs, that's coming with Kozlowski. That's when you might see the billion-dollar companies start to take a stake in these charters, which is a huge deal because we see it in the NBA, the NFL, and Major League Baseball.
Yeah, now there's more stability, so now it makes more sense for them to get their investments into these teams. Yes, without question.
All right, so here's my question to move forward here, and I brought this up before the show. How does this all affect Denny Hamlin this weekend? Right? We brought it up a little bit on Sunday, and Cody, if you want to get the soundbite ready from Denny Hamlin so we can play that back for you. But yeah, how is this going to affect Denny Hamlin? This is a guy who is racing for a championship, and he's always said that's been his main focus this season is to race and get to that 60-win barrier, and that he is a driver first and an owner second. But when we're this close to the finish line, I have to imagine that Denny's a little bit distracted here, right? Am I off base saying that? That like he's as the owner of 2311 Racing, he has to be pretty involved with this, and it has to be a little bit distracting, where he's got to be on the phone with Michael constantly trying to get this figured out, as opposed to just being a driver this weekend. And I'm coming up for on media day tomorrow. Like he's gonna be, how many questions is he gonna get asked?
Oh, a ton.
Yeah, yeah.
It's gonna be all about. It's all gonna be a lawsuit. It's not gonna be much about. Oh, hey, Denny, you're racing for a championship. But here's what Denny Hamlin said on this past weekend at Martinsville, talking about where this process is at as of Thursday, Friday last week.
You sat in the courtroom, you heard the arguments. I'll let you form your own opinion, but I think one of us is on a suicide mission.
And he's not talking about himself.
Yep.
He has said, though, at one point this season, he has said that he does focus on this throughout the week, and come Thursday, he flips the switch, and he knows he has better people in charge. So I don't think he's as distracted as it may appear that he is. It's on his mind, yes, but I think he knows, especially this weekend, it's about what happens in the cockpit, and that's it.
I think, if anything, this helps his case for winning the championship. I made this point when we had our trip at Gateway, Worldwide Technology Raceway, of Denny Hamlin's series leading 6 wins. 4 of those have come days after a significant development occurred in the courthouse. So whether this gets settled, whether there's some other big news that breaks this week leading up to the championship, this could favor Denny Hamlin tremendously. He finished second place at Phoenix in the spring. He's got 2 wins there. I don't see why not. It could be Denny time in Phoenix this weekend.
If he does lose the championship, does he use this as an excuse?
No.
We in the media talk about it as that our lead story on Sunday night when Chase Briscoe ends up winning the championship, and Chase Briscoe is a NASCAR Cup Series champion. Denny Hamlin, one of the 10, 15 best drivers of the last 20 years, is not a champion. Chase Briscoe is, and we come on Sunday night, and that's what we're talking about is Denny Hamlin lost this championship because he wasn't mentally 100% focused on being in the race car. Kenny, something we brought up earlier in the playoffs when he was going at it with Ty Gibbs, right? He mentally showed a little bit of weakness in that moment, and he's still in the championship 4.
I went all the way back to Daytona, 10 races, even number, and Denny's average finish is 16th. Ooh. But playing off what Cole said, and if this dude's able to compartmentalize like that, more power to him. I can't compartmentalize a blister on my foot, much less a freaking $1 million, billion-dollar change in a lawsuit. I would think that this does nothing but help Denny Hamlin. You got to think that Hendrick Racing and and Joe Gibbs were going, well, at least Chase Briscoe were going, damn it. That weight's off of Denny's shoulders now. Now he's going to freaking roll us.
Oh, if a settlement comes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Possibility.
Because of the stones that he had to continue to show are not the ability or the ability for him not to really go hardcore after NASCAR. And I mean hardcore, like he really wanted to.
Because basically his lawyer Kessler giving him a gag order. You can't say this. You have to, these are your little parameters in this teeny tiny box. That's all you can say.
Yeah.
You can play with it, but that's it.
So to get back to your question, I think it's going to help him. I do. Do I think he's going to win the championship? I'll share that with you in about 15, 20 minutes.
Look at that.
All right. So speaking of this weekend, our boy Big Balls Byron works his way into the Phoenix Championship 4. Where does he sit now as far as odds go, Koku Shimano, to win the championship?
He is the third favorite for the win at plus 475 for the race win. He is plus 260 for the championship. Also third favorite per BetMGM on that front. So they have Hamlin favored, Larson second as the only defending or only champion in the championship 4. And then they got Byron and then Briscoe with a pretty decent drop-off as the fourth driver.
Oh, dang.
Well, given the fact that many people have said this, I think Koku Shimano said it Sunday night, that of all the 4 drivers, Kyle Larson is the fourth of those 4 drivers of least deserving to be in there. How do I phrase that?
Statistically speaking, from 2025, yeah.
I mean,
to be in there.
Yeah, for sure. Just like you look at his season as a whole, there's been a lot of inconsistency. He still has the 3 wins, which is, Briscoe and Byron have the same amount of wins as him. He's got second most top 10, second most laps led, which was just past. William Byron just passed him at Martinsville with those 300 laps led. So he's been one of the best all year. I just feel like he hasn't had the flash and the dominance of years past, but definitely deserving of being in the championship 4 for sure.
Big Balls Byron versus his teammate Kyle Larson. Man, if it comes, we were hoping for some fireworks with Martinsville. We really didn't get it. We got the Ryan Blaney, Big Balls Byron back and forth, but there wasn't a Hail Melon or anything of that like. But just, who was it that said, was it Chase Briscoe talking about how he loves this race, but it's just so damn short? Was that Briscoe that said that?
That was for Phoenix.
You.
Yes.
Yeah, for
yes.
Phoenix.
Yep. Actually, like I said, I spoke with Briscoe about this. I spoke with all 4 championship 4 crew chiefs. This is a short race, and that's what makes it very difficult for them to call and just get right. Because if one thing goes wrong and you get caught back in the pack where it's hard to pass at Phoenix, it's impossible to get back up front pretty much unless you play a strategy or you have a flurry of caution. So the race length is a big factor when it comes to Phoenix, both in the spring, but more so in the fall when you're crowning a champion.
And we've seen through Larson's past championship how key pit stops are, too. You cannot make a single mistake. If you have good pit stops, it'll vault you. Obviously, it'll vault you up.
The money stop is the difference maker. That's what won the championship in 2021. The money stop. It's true.
Richie, how do you make an argument to change this chase or these playoffs when you have arguably the 4 best drivers running for the championship in Phoenix? How do you argue to change the playoff format as we sit?
That's a great question. And I think we're going to find out more about that in the Truck Series and in the Xfinity Series, more so than anything else, right? Because the situation could play out. Like, I agree. If all 4 of these drivers win a championship, we're not having the Joey Logano discussion that we had last year, which is a guy who had the 10th or 11th best average finish in the Cup Series and still won the championship, right? All 4 of these guys are very, very deserving of being in the championship 4. And we talked about it on Sunday. These guys this is maybe one of the best championship 4 that we've had in this format over the last 10 years. And so I think we're going to get more of that conversation in the Xfinity and Cup and Truck Series if Zilich and Heim don't win. That's what everybody's going to point to, right? Like, we show up to the Truck Series on Friday and Ty Majeski wins the championship again. You're going to go you're going to have fans going, what the hell are we doing here? Same thing with Zilich. Zilich loses to Justin Allgaier.
Valid.
Same thing. It's going to be like, what the hell are we doing here? And that's where people are going to have a problem with it. And according to Jordan Bianchi, the 3 formats that are in play that NASCAR is deciding on right now is a full race 36-point season, which is incredible to me. We've talked about that ad nauseum this year about how that was so. Last year, Steve Phelps at his State of the Sport press conference was defending the playoffs like crazy. He was like, and basically was like more or less said, we're never going back. We're always going to keep the playoffs.
Oh wow!
So that's one. Mm-hmm. The other is bringing back the 10-race chase format, and then the other format is the playoff elimination format, being 3 races, and 4 races to decide the championship. So that's where we're standing right now. And as far as the Cup Series, like you were just talking about, I don't think we're going to be having that much of a discussion unless they announce something at the State of the Sport press conference, which we're not expecting.
They said they're not going to.
Yeah.
It won't be until after the championship's decided.
They've said that, but they can change their mind,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like they did a year ago with the full season format. Absolutely.
Right. We're never going back. Here we are. Fast forward 12 months.
It's garbage.
Let's go back to our roots.
I may talk about this Sunday night if I feel up to it. I did some deep diving onto some issues where Kevin Harvick brought it up. We've got to stop really using this as the metric for whether NASCAR is successful or not. How many sports series would love to get 3 million viewers like NASCAR did Sunday?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Maybe NASCAR oversold their series like a lot of companies do. Radio stations do it all the time. People will front sell a series on a network, and it's canceled 3 or 4 weeks later, and they've got to bite the bullet on the money that they, depending on the agreement, they've either got to bite the bullet on the money that they paid up front for that series to advertise in, or it's a make-good situation where they'll spread it out somewhere else. So I think we first of all, we got to just back away from the ratings. Outside of the NFL, every sports league is down, all right? I know Formula One, Richie, just let it sit there for a second.
To the moon, baby.
IndyCar's up, but you guys know what I'm talking about here.
Yes.
We just got to pull away from that. Let's just back away and really decipher why the interest isn't gaining with the younger demographic. I took a deep dive into that, and I went through the last 20 years and the number of drivers that have retired since then. If you put those 20 drivers back in the series, we're talking about it's a whole different animal. Mm-hmm. There's that. There is the broadcast channels that it was on, and it was almost 20 years with Homestead as your finale.
Yep.
All right.
Wow.
10 years. Mm-hmm.
So we may get into that depending on what happens Sunday with the Cup final, because I think we just got to get the hell away from ratings when it comes to NASCAR specifically. I know when your ratings are great, you want to tout it. When your ratings suck, it's like, hey, did you see our demographic skewed a little bit younger, bitches? Right?
Right. I mean, the bottom line is they're still the most watched motorsport in America.
Yep.
You know, and like I said, the numbers in itself aren't bad. You just want to see them improve over time, not go down and dip. But.
Well, and honestly, we really only talked about ratings in a negative manner over this last Peacock, TBS, or what network, TNT, whatever we're talking about.
USA.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
USA. That's the only time I remember this year that we actually talked about it in a negative manner. And then all of a sudden they go back on network and back up.
Yeah.
So
it was like after the Prime deal, which many expected was because it went to Prime. People were upset about that. And it went to, after that, it was whatever, USA, TNT, all these streaming services. So that's a big contributing factor to that.
Freak Nation, Justin Ashley, NHRA Top Fuel Championship contender, will be joining us in about 5 minutes. I don't have any idea where he's going to be checking in. He may already be in Las Vegas. They've got their second to the last race this weekend in Las Vegas. Then, of course, you have Pomona. And you think you want to get some race fans up in arms? When Pomona announced that the Pomona final will be 1.5 points, man, drag racing purists went absolutely bananas with that.
on top of the purists who still don't like the fact that they have a playoff too. Mm-hmm. They call it the countdown. And it's not a 10-race countdown. What is it? It's a few. It's a countdown. Yep. So, yeah, on countdown on top of 1.5 points for your finale. Wait a minute, what? They did it last year.
Mm-hmm. Justin Ashley will join us in about 5 minutes. And I was talking to Cole Cusimano. Cole was trying to get me to rattle off all the numbers, the maximum numbers that Justin Ashley can win in one race. We'll get that from him, which also led into the conversation how many years ago it was. Look it up real quick, Cole. Tony Schumacher versus Doug Coletta.
Ooh, Pomona
Championship
finale.
Pomona. Doug Coletta was the points leader, a thin points leader going into NHRA Pomona. And Tony Schumacher had to do a certain number of things, including going rounds, making it to the final, and then winning the final to win the championship. And it was either a mile per hour
he had
record,
to set the
or
right.
ET record to get another point or two or whatever it was.
It was just a record. You had to have a record on that weekend to, like you said, give him that extra point.
And he did it that last race against Doug Coletta. I've never seen anything like that in my life when it comes to motorsports, for someone to have to check all these boxes, pull all those levers, however you want to refer to it, to win a championship.
Yeah. And it was a heads-up race. It's not like Coletta lost traction or anything. Schumacher, it was, arguably the greatest drag race of all time.
Do you have it there, Cole?
3:772 sound about right for a time?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was.
It sounds so
ET?
slow to where it is now.
Yep. The run stormed to a 3:772 to take the pole, and the points lead by 2. He won by 2 points.
There it is.
Oh, there it is. And he beat Doug in the finals to do it. Yeah, whoa.
So let's hope that it comes down to something like that, to where we have 2 or at least 3 drivers with 15, 20 laps to go here at Phoenix.
It would be fun. The last couple of championships, I don't remember being edge of my seat kind of watching, but I do remember that for Larson's championship. And again, a lot of it came down to that final pit stop. Like you said, the money stop.
Yeah, and that's so true. And to go back to the comment, Cole, who were talking about the length of this race, and the crew chiefs are talking about this, the onus on the crew and the crew chief in this race is magnified 20-fold on the importance of getting that hot rod in and out of that pit on time, and not just that, but to make the correct decision. Should it be 2 or 4 tires? Should it be just splash? All of that
Wedge
has got to come into
adjustment,
play
Yep.
for the crew.
Correct. Yeah, pit stall selection has been a big premium if you get that first stall at Phoenix traditionally. They moved the camera back a little bit, so that advantage is a little bit lessened. But irregardless, this is one of the most technically sound tracks on the circuit. All 4 corners are extremely different, so it's very hard to get the balance right in the car. Obviously, there's a lot of green flag runs in this race, and although it is short, you got to anticipate fuel strategy and all those sorts of things. And then the tires. The tires were a big deal in the springs. They brought the option tire and the prime tire. Now they have the option tire as the primary tire for this race, and they also have the tire run from last week at Martinsville on the left side as well. So there should be more wear, more passing, so tire conservation is going to be a big factor in this one as well. So the more strategy, the better, obviously. It's going to be a fun one, I think.
I just think of Bristol. We want to see tires just cording up like Bristol, right? Wouldn't that be great to add more drama to your finale? I kid.
Oh, can you imagine the
kid.
fans, though? Oh, the fans would be so mad.
Yeah, right.
Bad.
If the championship was decided because one of the championship 4 drivers' tires blew.
Oh,
Right.
valid.
Yeah. However, I guess that kind of did happen to Kurt Busch when he won his championship, right? And he was able to recover from that situation.
Lost a wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. And he managed to recover. Hell, I guess even last year, like Justin Allgaier got into a lot of trouble.
Oh my
last
gosh,
year.
right?
Very, very early on in that race. When
many
the lap
times.
down, he was able to recover and finished second in that race, I believe, to Riley Herbst, who won.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Oh,
Riley
yeah.
Herbst won a race, ladies and gentlemen, and he did it at Phoenix last year. And Justin Allgaier managed to come back and win that race. So Justin actually is in the deal. By the way, he's here.
Oh, talking about Allgaier, go to Ashley. It's
Go
Justin
to a
and
single
Justin.
shot, set him up
Let's
nicely.
do.
And we'll go to him a little early here in the Freak Nation. Again, if you want your Phoenix insight, be sure to hang with the Freaks. We're going to be out there tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. May even have Cole Cusimano, Richard C. Suave out at the track to get your race series winner, champion, on the show with us Sunday night. All we know is that come championship night, it is absolutely bananas trying to get your champion
God.
on any freaking television show, because they're doing such a crazy dance that, and our show goes 7 to 9, but we hope to get the race winner on then as well. All right, let's bring in Justin Ashley here in the Freak Nation. And Justin, can we go to 4-shot? There we go. Justin, I know you can't see me, but man, I sure sound sexy, don't I?
You sound great. You didn't even have to prompt me to say that. I was going to say that right off the bat. You sound awesome.
God.
So good.
Well, again, Freak Nation, a friend of the Freak Nation, Justin Ashley, sporting the hardware behind him, all those freaking Wallies. And we're talking about going into Las Vegas. You've got a shot at winning this freaking championship. But I'm going to put you on the spot first. Koku Samano, who's going to be jumping on and asking you a question here in a moment. What's the maximum points that you could win? You could win, or any driver could win at Las Vegas to help us kind of figure out the mathematics on you winning this championship in Pomona?
Yeah, so it's a little bit tricky. Pomona is 1.5 points, so it's 30 points around. But in Las Vegas, it's 20 points around. So really, you can get up to 80 at least on race day. But then there's little points that you can accumulate based on how you do each qualifying run, and then based on where you qualify going into race day. So it's really, I would say, anywhere between, let's call it 80 or 90 available points in Las Vegas.
Freak Nation, his name is Justin Ashley, friend of the Freaks, running for the NHRA Top Fuel Championship, chasing down Doug Coletta once again. Are you guys points chasing, round chasing, or it's just, my God, we got to throw everything into this freaking hot rod just to get to the finals, just in case Coletta is on the other side of the bracket?
Yeah, we're win chasing right now. That's really all that we could do, because when you get to this point in the year, based on where we're positioned, we can't control what Doug's going to do. They have a great race car. Right now, they're running really well. And if we get caught up and focusing on what they do, it's only going to hurt ourselves. And none or nothing really will matter at that point anyway. So right now, we're taking it one round at a time, one race at a time, but we have to stack round wins. We have to win and focus on winning these last two races and then get some help along the way. So is it unlikely? Yeah, but everything's unlikely, right? It's never been done until it's been done. So that's our goal. That's our objective right now, is to put our best foot forward and at least put ourselves in a position leaving Vegas and come the last day in Pomona to give ourselves a chance to win that world championship.
Crasher, I know. Hold on. Let me ask you this, because I will forget it given my old man age. Would you rather meet Doug Coletta in the first round, or would you rather meet him in the finals?
That's an awesome question. I would rather meet him in the first round. It's a situation where you got to risk it to get the biscuit, right? You may as well take your chance right up front. If things go well, you put yourself in a great position. If things don't go well, you essentially eliminate yourself from championship contention. I think you got to take risks to win the championship. Right now, the top fuel field is really good. Doug's got an excellent car, but I think I would much rather race him in the first round and see what we can do.
I remember when Denver used to be the race, everybody talked about altitude, but Vegas has its own idiosyncrasies that are a little bit tricky. How do you mentally prepare with your crew getting into the Vegas altitude?
Yeah, it's definitely different. You definitely, speaking of Denver, there you really felt the altitude, not only in the way the cars responded, but just in terms of physically, right? And everything took a little bit more deep breathing there. It's not so much like that in Vegas, but it's more about the effect that altitude has on the car and the different compression ratios that you want to run. So thankfully for us, a lot of that will fall on, Tommy DeLago, Jason McCullough, and the crew chiefs and the team. Physically, most of it should stay the same, but it's going to be a challenge because that altitude is different. We'll be able to go back and kind of look at how we ran earlier in the year in Las Vegas, but that was during the springtime. So the conditions should be different this time, but at least we'll have that to lean on.
That is a good question, though. How different is it? How different is your notebook from the spring races to the fall races?
I think time will tell. I think based on the conditions that we're expecting, it could be relatively similar. We just have to see what the temperature is. Obviously, the grains and all the other details that go into it. But, that's something that Jason and Tommy and the team can decide. So I do think that there will be plenty of stuff that we can take from our notebook that we learned from the spring Vegas and apply it to this one. Situationally, it'll be much different, obviously, being in the countdown. And that one was a 4-wide. This is a traditional.
Right.
But still, I think data-wise, there should be a solid amount that we could take from it.
Okay, I know you just said data-wise, but all I heard was dad-wise. How nervous is your dad for instances like this as well? Because he's your greatest cheerleader.
He is. I don't even think it's arguably
true.
I think he is. It's totally awesome. We have such a great relationship. I think he's definitely more nervous than I am. Naturally, there's nerves that come along with being in this situation, but it's funny. I think back to when he was driving, and I legitimately feel like I was more nervous for him than he was nervous being behind the wheel. And now it's the same way. He's more nervous for me than I am behind the wheel. So I guess it has something to do with just being in the moment and focusing on the task at hand, where you're trying to eliminate all the other what ifs and distractions. Because I think it is much more nerve-wracking watching from outside the car than it actually is inside the car.
You know, Cole, hold on a second. I can completely identify with this. Again, it's a humble brag. When I watch my daughter in goal in soccer,
true.
I am so wound up. I just go, thank goodness I didn't take my Adderall that morning, because I am so freaking wound up watching her versus I don't ever remember being that uptight in a football game or a soccer game or a poker game or when a cop would pull me over. I don't ever remember being that damn nervous, but watching my kid, it's a different animal, Broham.
It really is. That's what they say. It really is. And from my understanding, you'll have to tell me, but also the exhilaration, the excitement you get from watching your kid accomplish something is much better than the exhilaration, the excitement you would get from even you yourself accomplishing it.
Absolutely. I love hearing that dynamic there. Cole Cusimano here, Justin. Obviously, you mentioned it at the top of the interview. 141 points back. It's a pretty large deficit, but it's not impossible. It hasn't happened before, but things in sports, magic tends to happen. Anything can happen in sports. I'm curious, what sets you and your team apart from Doug Coletta and their bunch? What gives you guys sort of an advantage over them potentially going into these final two races of the season?
Well, I always felt like the most dangerous teams to race are the ones with nothing to lose. And we're almost operating where we have to throw the whole kitchen sink at it. And we really feel like we have nothing to lose. We'd rather be in first. We'd rather be in the position where people are trying to chase us. But since we're the ones doing the chasing and trying to chase down Doug, I think there's a certain element of, okay, we have nothing to lose. We're going to give it our all here over the final two races. And I think that in and of itself gives us a small edge. Now, will it amount to something? Time will tell. But I obviously have a lot of confidence in the team that we have. We've been working together 4 or 5 years, which is a difficult thing to do in this sport and in this industry. So we have guys that are so precise, so detail-oriented, so they won't skip a beat. So I think all in all, between our team, the personnel that we have, the mindset in which we're operating, I think that should put us in a pretty good position.
That is awesome. I love hearing the mentality behind you and your crew there. I want to go back to one thing Kenny said here. You know, let's say you pull up to the starting line. You're with side by side with Doug Coletta. When you speak, when you talk, you have such a calm and such a calculated demeanor. When you're side by side in that dragster, do you turn into a different person? Are you like, give me a little insight underneath the helmet? Like, what's that like?
Yeah, that's an awesome question. I think in a lot of ways I'm similar, but in a lot of other ways, I am different. I think that when I'm in the car, all of that other stuff goes away. My demeanor stays the same, but mentally, nothing else really matters, right? It's one-on-one. Either you're going home or we're going home, and we're not ready to go home. We don't want to go home, right? We're here to win the race. So I think from that standpoint, the demeanor stays the same. But mindset-wise, it's about focusing on the task at hand, and I kind of pride myself on the ability to concentrate at a high level and playing to win, right, as opposed to playing to lose, and trying to put our team in the best possible position to turn on win lights. Justin
Ashley running for a championship, top fueler here in the Freak Nation. Granted, I've never run a funny car, top fuel car. I've run what was it, super stock, whatever the hell it was, at about $140, $150 on Pomona at the time. But I digress. My point is this: when I get on my motorcycle and put my helmet on, it just immediately it shuts out reality, and you feel a sense of calm for one, and invincibility the other. Now that next step is what you do is you've got 20,000 horsepower behind you. You've got to hit a light at a certain amount of time to make sure that you try and light that guy or girl next to you. When you light the car, all your gear's already on, your helmet's down, your visor's down. Run me through your routine of the minute you light that car to when you actually release that lever to launch on that 1,000 feet?
Yeah, what you're feeling on the bike is very similar, if not the same feeling to what we all feel behind the wheel of these cars, obviously with just a lot more power, like you said. But as soon as they fire the car and I turn the fuel on, basically everything that goes on around you goes away. And at that point, we have the canopy piece on our car. When they close the canopy piece, it becomes a lot quieter in there. Inside the cockpit. And I usually just take a deep breath, focus on the task at hand. And what I mean by that is focus on my procedures. It's so easy to get distracted by maybe what's happening in the other lane, or maybe thinking about what's happening behind you, or if the car feels different this lap than it did the other lap. But really try and stay dialed in to that moment. And really what it boils down to is being present. And as long as I'm present, which is really, really what I'm focused on, usually the performance is relatively good. So I think it's really just a matter of being in there, concentrating, and the feeling of being free, of knowing that I'm doing what I love, is a special feeling that I really can't capture doing anything else, to be honest with you.
You know what you just did right there? You sold me a manuscript. You sold me a script for a movie in Hollywood. Who would narrate? Who would be your voice narration as that canopy comes down, as the intensity rises, but as your focus is right there? Who's the voice?
I don't know. I think like Morgan Freeman would sound pretty cool. Right?
Nice.
Yes.
But I think somebody with like a calm disposition, like a Owen Wilson, might be pretty neat too.
Ooh,
I can see that.
Yes.
I don't know. I'd like to see Connie Coletta do it about 6 freaking tall boys in.
No.
I wouldn't hate that. Well, man, and speaking of not hating, we wouldn't hate it if you go out and win Vegas and keep it interesting for us come Pomona, buddy.
Yes, sir. That's the plan. I really appreciate it, guys. I always love taking the time to hop on and chat with you guys. I hope you guys are doing well. I'm glad your daughter's doing well.
Right.
And she's playing goalie and she's doing good. That's awesome. So I appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Goodness.
Hey, what's does your dad have a habit when he watches you? My habit is a crap ton of sunflower seeds during the game. Does your dad have a habit when he watches you race?
Oh man, yeah, he paces.
Yeah.
No, he's got certain routines. One thing he does, he got these. Have you guys seen these meta glasses that videotape? So those are. So he stands on the starting line and he clicks and he watches the entire run from like his point of view. And I actually go back and watch that later, but that's now part of his routine where he clicks it on his glasses and he watches the car. And we can go back and watch it later. So that's something pretty cool he does. But no sunflower seeds. He might get in trouble if he spits sunflower seeds on the track. So
On the starting line.
Don't give him any ideas because he might be tempted to do that. Knowing him.
Hey, what kind of socks you got on?
Right now?
Yeah, what kind of socks you wearing?
You want me to make something up?
No, I busted your balls at PRI a couple of years ago where you were wearing these snappy hats. Yeah.
I think I had. Well, first of all, I'm not wearing socks right now. The next thing is, I think I was wearing some really I was wearing like high socks and like Skechers or something, right?
You lost your luggage and someone had to go get you some socks or pants or something. That's right.
It wasn't like people talk about having like, I don't know the other word, but whatever, like swag or style. Yeah. There was none of that. There still is none of that, but there was none of that.
That's awesome. All right.
Wait, hold on, Justin. You might not think you have swag, but you got skag.
Hey-o.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. You have swag, no, but I have skag. I like that better.
Boom.
All right, Justin, go kiss and kick some ass. All right.
Appreciate it, guys. Have a good one. Thank you.
You got it. Justin Ashley here in the Freak Nation, NHRA, top fuel pilot, running for the championship. Cole, that kind of sets it up for you with really the mountain that this dude has to climb to sniff a championship, given what Doug Coletta's done.
It does, but I mean, he has a great mentality and mindset and approach about him. I love, like I mentioned, his demeanor was really what stuck out to me. I think that's so pivotal, as he said, to having success on the drag strip when you can kind of compartmentalize the outside noise and what's in front of you, that 1,000 feet. So, I mean, came on SpeedFreaks. SpeedFreaks Mojo should vault him to a nice win this weekend at Las Vegas.
No, hold on. You're just happy because you got to see another or talk to another New Yorker.
Yeah.
It's just you guys have that New York bond already going. Just met him. He's your brother already.
Of course.
His dad, this is one of the funny cars his dad drove back in the day. Let's go back this way. How badass that is.
That's a cool one.
Right?
His dad always had good-looking cars. Oh, yes.
Got some Terminator vibes on there.
Yeah.
And it is interesting how his dad was a funny car driver and a pro mod driver, right? And
Yes.
Justin is top fuel. Love it.
He ain't stupid.
Stop.
Again, good to get Justin Ashley here in the Freak Nation. All right, guys, we got about 14 minutes. I don't really want to spend 14 minutes with predictions other than, let's just say, Freak Nation coming up Fridays, always 7 p.m. Eastern. It's the Money Stop. And this is the final for the year. Is that right, Cole Kusmano?
That's correct. Your final chance to bank out with the most important NASCAR betting stop of the day, the Money Stop. Been on an absolute heater this year, clicking off wins left and right as far as prop finishes, the 12 drivers that we highlight each week as favorites, sleepers, and values. And this is our home track, home field advantage. So Steven and I, who's in studio today actually with me, we just killed it. We've been killing it all year, but especially when we go to Phoenix.
I can tell
it
you
just
how you
lights
did
out.
last weekend at Martinsville, how you killed it with your
We
picks.
killed it. Did you see
Well,
it?
your picks were Beat the Freaks.
Oh, Beat the Freaks. That's a different story.
That's
That's a different story. But we had our results posted up as far as our hits from Martinsville, from the prop predictions and whatnot, and it was unbelievable.
Yep.
Good stuff.
The Money Stop, it drops on our YouTube page, Official Speed Freaks, every Friday, 7 a.m. Eastern, again, at Official Speed Freaks. You got your 4 drivers rolling into Phoenix, which, by the way, you and Steven, like you said, Steven's here in the Lucas Oil Studios. You'll be doing it here from the Lucas Oil Studios, Freak Nation. So you got your 4 drivers for this weekend. And I'm going to ask for either some big balls picks. I'm not saying specifically for big balls Byron, but some big balls picks. Are you going to go for... none of these are easy money. None of this is easy money. You've got favorites. But given what these cats have done to get into this, I mean, the Mo is certainly with big balls Byron after that win in Martinsville, what he had to do. But I'd like to hear from each of you. And let's start with Richard C. Suave. Who?
I get to go first.
Yeah, you do. Who do you think and why do you think this individual is going to win the 2025 NASCAR Cup Series Championship?
Yeah, there's some folks in our chat who brought this up earlier, and I think we're gonna have a first-time winner and a first-time champion this year. I don't think Kyle Larson is gonna get it done this year. And I've said this before, I really like Joe Gibbs Racing this year. They've been the best team all season long, so that narrows it down to Denny Hamlin and Chase Briscoe. And as we previously talked about earlier in the show, I really do think this lawsuit is going to get in Denny's head, man. He may not say it, we may not see it at media day, but it's got to be a part of it. Somewhere in the back of his mind is a little bit of a distraction. And so I truly believe that we could see Chase Briscoe win this championship. And let me explain why. Chase Briscoe has been really, really good in qualifying. I think he's got the most pulls all season long, right? He's won at Phoenix Raceway in the Next Gen era. His first career win came at Phoenix Raceway. He's only gotten better and more used to these Joe Gibbs Racing cars. Obviously had a rough week last week, but I think it is possible that Chase Briscoe wins the pole for Phoenix. Cole, you mentioned earlier in the show, this track is really hard to pass on. So it is one of those races that if you get the lead, like William Byron did at Martinsville last week, I think it's going to be really tough for someone to come and pass Chase Briscoe. So if Chase Briscoe wins the pole, I think he wins the race. And so I'm taking Chase Briscoe, man. I really do think he can upset the apple cart and get the championship this weekend because I think it's nobody's talking about him. He's playing the underdog role this week, and I think that I think he has got nothing to lose.
Okay, who do you want to win, Richie?
Denny.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We might all say that.
Cole Cusimano.
Yeah, for me, logic tells you to go with one of the Joe Gibbs Toyotas because they were the class of the field in the spring.
Why do I feel like
Denny
Cole's got to
finished
have like a
second.
smoking jacket and a pipe and like top hat? He's like, just sit back and watch me, kids.
Oh, I don't have it in my car anymore. I used to have
Oh,
this.
come on.
Listen to the master here and the fire burning behind him and a freaking dog down here on his lap.
Let me break it down for you guys here. I'm going to go with the momentum and pick big balls Byron on this one. Everyone counted him out, including myself, but Jeff Gordon said it best. You cannot count out Hendrick Motorsports. I know that's been JGR the entire season, the whole playoffs as well. But I think what we saw from William Byron at Martinsville was a breakout. I think we're going to see this driver take the next step into superstardom and being one of those top drivers with your Kyle Larsons and your Denny Hamlins, because the balls he had to lead over 300 laps, to boot Ryan Blaney out of the way for the race win, essentially. It was huge, a huge moment for him. He started the season off winning the Daytona 500, the biggest race of the year. He was the regular season champion, which people forget.
Oh, right.
And he had this insane walk-off win at Martinsville, which we've seen. If you get that momentum in that final race in the round of 8, like Ryan Blaney had and Chase Elliott had in their championship runs, it could do a great deal for you when you get to Phoenix. He has a great resume there as well. Got the win back there in 2023. 2 poles there, 8th place average finish, 3rd most laps led over 7 starts in the next gen. And he's finished 6th or better in all 3 finales, including 3rd place last year. So I think all the talk's JGR, but give me William Byron for the championship.
So you're telling me, okay, Denny Hamlin got 2nd here in the finale last year, and William Byron got 3rd last year.
He got 3rd in the finale last year, yes. He finished, I believe was 6th this past spring. Yeah, 6th.
Oh, my goodness.
Willie B got the pole back in March at Phoenix, too.
Correct.
So
yeah.
That's actually the question. That's the question. Like, is this race going to be won from the pole? I haven't looked it up. I need to look up the stats. Like, how many times this championship race has been won from the pole?
I could look that up.
But do you agree with me that if one of these 4 drivers wins the pole, they're taking it home?
It's definitely gives you a huge advantage. Like I said, that first pit stall is a massive premium, especially at Phoenix. So I think that definitely gives whoever wins the pole, should it be one of the championship 4 drivers, a decisive edge when the green flag drops, for sure. And if it's Kyle Larson, look out, because Cliff Daniels, best crew chief in the garage.
And see, that's where I'm going. I'm going Kyle Larson. I am going for another championship for him because of you saying don't count out Hendrick Motorsports. I feel like so much of Kyle Larson's strategy once it gets to the playoffs is just data finding. But they've also got so much data built up from this Phoenix finale that is successful for them. I feel like we are going to see a 2-time champion. I know I'm in the minority there, but aren't you happy, Cody? I'm picking your guy.
Can we, Cody, can you please take off your shoe?
Yeah.
Hopefully you washed your feet today, so we don't. And show
So
people.
badass.
Yeah, make sure we
Look
get
at that.
make sure-
Wow.
Yeah, look at that.
Number 5, Hendrick Cars. You're manifesting that. You're putting it out there of Kyle Larson taking his 2nd championship.
Oh, I do have the number, by the way, here. So in the 5 championship races at Phoenix so far, 3 have been won from the pole. Joey Logano in 2022, Kyle Larson in 2021, but asterisk here, Chase Elliott won from the pole in his 2020 race, but he also started from the rear for, I believe it was a crash in practice or a part change.
Oh, dang.
Either way, he technically won the pole, but he started from the rear and then won that race.
So what's that about passing again?
That was the Gen 5, but still. Or Gen 6, sorry.
And one thing that we haven't mentioned this, and I'm sure you haven't forgotten, it's not like they've got to win this race.
They just have to
They
finish
just got to
above everybody
finish
else.
ahead of those other 3 dudes, man.
Ross Chastain won here in 2023.
That's it. That's all they have to do.
I feel bad if somebody else does win the race, though, because it's like, oh, good for you. Who's our champion?
I told you, man, that was Riley Herbst last year in the Xfinity Series.
And no one gave a
NASCAR
shit.
has a protocol for that when it comes with the photographers meeting. The drivers know if you win the race, this is where you go. If you're championship, this is where you. I think it's the champion gets the burnout first, the winner gets the burnout second, and then the owner's champ. It goes on and on, but they have a protocol for that. I'm going with Cole Cusimano in this one with Big Balls Byron.
You can't give up on him.
No, I can't.
You have to stick with him.
That was such a freaking walk-off last week. I got to go with Big Balls Byron. And one reason why, outside of the fact that his freaking sack is as huge as this side of Phoenix, is if it comes down to teammates, he's got the better teammates to take out. I didn't just say that, did I? To affect his championship than I believe Joe Gibbs does.
Interesting.
What's my belief behind that?
Ty Gibbs?
Nothing. Someone made that up. I have no idea.
I thought you were
but I'm
just
going
gonna-
with Big Balls Byron. Yes, Ty Gibbs.
I thought you were going to go with the bad teammate Ty Gibbs. Okay.
That's true. If Ty Gibbs really wants to endear himself, he takes out the. Oh. So I'm going William Big Balls Byron, but I want Denny Hamlin to win.
So none of us are taking Denny Hamlin, huh? Interesting. The favorite,
Yeah.
according to the sports books.
Mm-hmm.
None of us are buying that.
I will go as far as saying if William Byron does not win, I think it will be Denny. But I'm still picking William Byron.
Big balls.
And this is to win the championship, not to win the race.
Correct.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But both. I think Byron's going to win the race in the championship.
So what do we do with Beat the Freaks this weekend? Do we make the call? Well, look, we've got to do race winners. Right? So think about that. Think about when you have your picks for Beat the Freaks.
This is a great point. Freak Nation, if you're watching us and you're going to enter Beat the Freaks this week, the Championship 4 do not earn stage points.
Booyah.
So while the other rest of the drivers do, and stage points do count in the final tally
For Beat the Freaks.
for Beat the Freaks. Just so you know, like we don't weight championship extra. It's points, man, and no stage points to championship 4. So just keep that in mind.
Hey, Richie, turn over your mic to Stephen Cusimano, please.
Okay.
I want to hit his picks.
Hey,
You got to get down in the seat.
we have more Cusimanos today.
Steven!
Richie, scoot
Sit
over.
on his lap. Sit on his
I
lap.
was really happy that nobody picked Denny because he's my pick for the championship.
There we go.
I want William Byron. I want William Byron to win. Really
Get in the
bad.
frame. Get in the frame. Get back
Here
there.
we are.
There you go. Get in
I'm
the frame.
now. I really want to see Willie B walk
Okay.
off with this championship, but I really think this is Denny's year.
Man.
Wearing a Hendrick Motorsports shirt too.
Right.
Yeah, I was about to say
And the
you're a little
chain.
I'm as
counterproductive there.
impartial as I can be. With the number 9, who's not racing in the championship.
Right. That a boy. Freak Nation, that is Stephen Cusimano, who play-by-play for the AA Yankees.
Yes, the Somerset Patriots.
All right.
New Jersey.
And if you really want to be a big fan of his, just cheer for any Philadelphia team.
No,
Yeah.
You said that on mic.
not up in here.
All right. Hey, Stephen, thank you for all year for teaming up with your brother and keeping him in line. All right.
Thanks for having us. This has been great.
That a boy. Stephen Cusimano, Cusimano, with The Money Stop. It drops Fridays, 7 a.m. Eastern on Official Speed Freaks. Crasher, who do you want to win the championship?
Denny. Come on, Denny.
Yeah.
Is
Cole?
anybody going to be
I do want Denny to
big
win it.
ballsy enough to bet against Corey Heim and Connor Zilic?
Ooh.
No. One of my recommendations for the money stop's going to be to parlay Connor Zilic and Corey Heim to win the championship.
I'm
It's guaranteed money.
gonna go out on a limb, and I'm gonna say that Connor Zilic had a bad week last week, and Justin Allgaier is really, really good at Phoenix. He knows how this championship race works. Connor Zilic does not.
Oh,
There's
dang.
a part of me that thinks Allgaier can go back to back, man.
He could. And it hasn't been said, this is no champion slump. Like, he's had a great season. 3 wins. He's, like, some of the most laps led in the series. He's been lights out. He's just been overshadowed, understandably so, by Connor Zilic.
The Xfinity race is going to be must watch for me. I think that's going to be the best race of the weekend. It's not even going to be close.
Easy.
The championship 4 are really, really good. All 4 of those drivers.
It
are
was
good
the best
drivers.
race last year.
It was the best. It's usually the best race of the weekend, pretty much every year. So I can't wait for that. Can't wait for that. Get some Dale Jr. in the post-race press conference again with the flag.
Have you guys forgotten about what happens at this NASCAR truck race in Phoenix? The shrapnel that's
Oh,
laid on
boy.
that track.
And it's Halloween night,
And it's
too.
Halloween.
I have no problem saying Corey Heim has a shot to not win the championship.
Yeah.
No problem. Oh, man. When Statman was on the show, the text would start, these guys don't belong in these cars. What the hell are they doing? They're running go-karts at the fair. It's like, you see how these guys in these trucks, some of them shouldn't even be within 100 yards of a freaking automobile, but they're on that damn track, freaking punching cars and punching trucks into the corner. I want Corey Heim to win it. He's a friend of the Freak Nation, but man, if there was a series where it could be affected by a bunch of freaking back markers, there you go. Yeah. All right, man. Here we go. Don't forget, the State of NASCAR will be coming to you Friday afternoon Eastern. Is it 10:45, guys, or 10:15?
Pacific.
10:45 Pacific.
10:15 a.m. Mountain Time.
Oh, Pacific time at that point.
Pacific time. That's right. We go
Yeah.
to free. We
We
go
also
back to
change
Mountain
over the
Time on
weekend.
Sunday.
Yes, we do. Yes,
Yeah.
we do.
Oh,
so
10 o'clock. Right?
10:15 Pacific time, 10:15 in the morning Pacific time, Friday. 1:15 Eastern Time Friday. That's when you want to tune in to find NASCAR State of the Union,
All right.
State of the Address, State of the Track of Phoenix, State of the Asphalt. I don't know what they're calling it, but yeah, State, NASCAR State.
All right. Thank you guys for being a part of this. Do it again Sunday night, right? Cheer. And if you miss it, go to Racer Network Mondays, noon Pacific and Eastern. See you.